Hey guys, today's video is a follow-up to my last video where I installed these mini twists. If you haven't seen it, I'll go ahead and put it in the iCards above. So here I'm just showing you what the twists are looking like after 3 weeks. I did go in and trim my ends a little bit so they're looking and feeling better. And just to get started, as with anything I do when it comes to styling my hair, I'm always going to work in sections. So let me start by saying I loved not having to do my hair the last 3 weeks. I didn't even really style them up like I thought I would, like when going out and about. When I was home, kept that bonnet on, that scarf on, and then when I went out, I did like this half up, half down, or I would wear it with a deep side part with some like hair cuff jewelry on a few of the twists. So let's jump into the good stuff. Would I do these again? The short answer is yes, but with some changes. I really did love the convenience and the break from manipulation on my hair, just constantly every week or every day. Thankfully, since I've been working from home, I haven't really had to do much to my hair, so I could like leave it in my banded sections with my bonnet on and just kind of go for a couple of days without really touching it. But when I had to run out to do errands, I would take those sections down, fluff or what have you. So even going out and just literally having to take my bonnet or my scarf off was really, really good for my hair. It gave it a much needed break. And then also the Cream of Nature butter blend products that I use, they did leave my hair super soft, super moisturized, and crazy shiny after the 3 weeks. So I definitely would recommend them for someone else to use them for this style. And I would definitely use them in the future for me to do the style again. And let's just talk about the definition. I'm just getting started with taking it out, but as we get further along in the video, you will see how like just crazy the definition is. Like some of the best definition I've ever had from a twist out. And I've always kind of gone by the thing that the smaller the twist or the smaller the braid, or even with rod sets and stuff like that, the better definition that you're going to have. So that's the really good thing about doing mini twists is you just know you're going to get bomb definition. So really the only thing that I noticed was like frizz at the roots really. And that's fine because that's going to help me with volume for the final look. I added absolutely nothing to my hair in those 3 weeks except for a little oil to my scalp to do some massages. And then I put a little oil on my ends after I trimmed them up. So 3 things that I learned or I would do different. I would twist tighter at the roots. I would wait till my hair is a little bit healthier and I probably won't leave them in past 2 weeks. So the reason behind that is because as you can see, I'm doing this right here, taking these down in real time. So you can see that as I was taking them down, some of them were a little bit harder to separate because the strands were starting to wrap themselves around themselves. And I think that that's due to just some split ends and kind of the breakage that accompanies those. You get that from just living basically mechanical manipulation to your hair, which is why this is a great break for you. Rubbing up against your hair, you get fairy knots and then it can just travel up the hair strand. There's a couple of different reasons why that can happen. So I was very sure to be careful while I was taking these down. And I do think that having a tighter twist starting at the roots or even a stronger hold gel, because this gel that comes in this Cream of Nature line is more of a soft or a flexible hold. So maybe using something like a wet line or an Eco Style that has a stronger hold may help to kind of tame those kind of like shorter pieces or where you might have any breakage or things like that to help keep them from necessarily wrapping around themselves or wrapping around as much. And then also, I didn't use an oil like I normally would do with taking down twists or rod sets or anything like this. So I think that might have given my hair a little extra slip when taking these down, and maybe it would have helped a little bit with that separation. Maybe it wouldn't have been as difficult. But all in all, it ended up being a great style. Definitely would do it again. I don't have any major complaints. There's nothing that I think was an issue during this time that can't be remedied. So it wouldn't deter me from doing it again. With that said, I definitely probably won't do it until my hair is a bit longer. Because I think that the different styles that I originally wanted to kind of try while I was wearing them out and about would just look better. And then also with it being longer, I can do each twist a little bit bigger and still have that desirable look. And doing that is going to keep the install time down, because if my hair was longer and I kept them the same size I did, it's going to increase that time because now I've got to go in twists further down the hair to get the kind of nice uniform twist look that I wanted. So that's kind of another rule of thumb. The longer the hair, the smaller section you can do to get a similar look, at least in my experience. So after I finished kind of unraveling each section of twist, I did go ahead and band them to keep the length and start working on the shape for when everything is fluffed out. And I went ahead and I slept like that overnight. You will see that I'd adjusted the sections up in the front before I ended up going to sleep, because I decided I wanted to wear my hair with no part in the front. So I'm pretty much just taking down the sections and fluffing at the roots to kind of hide those parts, and kind of lightly pulling on the hair, working on that shape. I am going to go through and pick out kind of any super frizzy parts, trying to tame them a little bit, or separating anything that looked a little too chunky. I left my hair like this while I went and put on my makeup, just to give it a chance to kind of breathe and settle and kind of do its thing before I started fluffing with my pick. The pick was not used for volume, more so for making sure that the parts were hidden and the shape was how I wanted it. You can see in a clip here that there was a little bit of buildup, which is another reason why I wouldn't keep them in for as long. But you can really just take a little bit of oil, rub it down the length of the hair, and it'll kind of like be a little quick fix to it, and you should be good to go. So this is the final look. Super happy with how this turned out for my first attempt with these mini twists, and the 2-for-1 that you get, a protective style and then a bomb twist out in the end. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share, and I'll see you guys in my next one.